NiagaraTFP here, and today I'm going to show you my Titanic Collection. Before showing you my really cool Titanic Collection, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any new videos. So let's show you my Titanic Collection. So, these are all my stuff. Be careful with this one because the top part of the mast kind of curls down like that, so be careful with that thing. Also, I'll put the snow globe here. I'm going to place it in a different spot. And also, I'm going to place another Titanic. It's going to be much smaller than this one. It's going to be somewhere here. So that's going to be later. And also, I'm going to show you this thing. It's like a smaller version of the Titanic one. I'm going to show you some more description when I'm going to show you all these. So let's go from this way all the way up to the little funnel. First, we have the Titanic snow globe. So here's the Titanic snow globe, and I showed you this in that other video. If you want to see that video, there is a card on the right hand side, and this is a little thing. It has anchors on the sides. It says has a white sail flag, Titanic, the world's largest museum attraction. Then there's Titanic in the iceberg, and then there's also, I don't think it's snow, it's more like glitter, but it's meant to be snow because it's called a snow globe. And also they did a good job on the rigging. And so I'm not showing you more, like, most about this. You can just look in that other video. But there we go, there's a Titanic snow globe. Next is this little Titanic. And I'm going to show you a more detailed and actually a little smaller version of this little Titanic. The funnel's kind of look different, so I'm going, it will be simplified, way more simplified than what's going to be shown in the description. But this is what the original one looks like. The new one's not going to have rigging because they'll be hard to do rigging. And there's also this thing, this is not rigging, this is actually like it's kind of like a communication thing at the top. And then the funnel things, I think they're called shrouds, funnel shrouds. And then I also include the iceberg, which the old iceberg, I don't know what it is, so I just created this new one. It's the same scale as the other one, I mean size, but there you go, that's this little Titanic. Next is the Titanic pen. No, this is actually just a ball cap. I'm just using this to represent the iceberg, so don't count that. Also, to not compare with the Olympic, there's this thing on A deck. A lot of people know the difference there, so I'm not telling you that. But there's the white sign flag Titanic. I showed you this in the Titanic squishy, and I think it's also in it's in a subscriber special video. I don't know what, I think it's like 200 or something. I think if you want to see that, there's a card on the right hand side. But here is the Titanic pen. It's gold and then black, and then a little more of the Titanic. They don't have space for mass or the entire stern of the ship. But let's write up here. So let's write Titanic pen. And then draw a little, this is just a simplified version of the Titanic. The other one is going to be more different than this, but that's just a simplified thing. I need to do all these other ones. So there we go, there's a Titanic pen. Next is a Titanic keychain. You see this, it also has a stone. Something weird is that the space between the second and third funnels, the space between the third and the fourth funnels, and between the first and second funnel, you can definitely see this is where the grand staircase is located, and also where the Marconi room and all the other stuff are. This is like where the first class lounge and the compass tower is located, and then here's where the African staircase and the Super King engine casing. When you look at my Titanic here, you'd see that the second and third funnel distance is more than the first and second floor. Only a little bit, but it's a little bit more. And then also this side. So, and here, it seems like the different sizes. And this is also White Island Flag, Titanic, world's largest museum attraction. I almost said smallest, but it says Titanic here. There's no space for the thing on the stern. It says Titanic Liverpool on the wheel ship. Same thing with the propellers. But then, there you go. There's a Titanic keychain. Next is a Titanic magnet. No, this didn't actually sink. It's because the whole starboard side is sinking. No, not really the starboard side. It's kind of weird because the bow heads are pointing. Also, the stern is like symmetrical, but the funnels are like cut in half. It would be better if it's placed in the middle. But it says White Island Flag, Titanic, world's largest museum attraction. And don't forget about this iceberg. It's red at the back for some reason. There's no space for propellers, no space for that, but it says Titanic at the front. And I'm going to show you when it's hanging up on the refrigerator. So there is the Titanic, and I need to go back. And there you go. That is the Titanic magnet. Next is the little Lego Titanic. Now, not to be confused with that large Lego Titanic, which I'm gonna get that another time. But here, one of the mats broke off. But you see, I modified a little. Originally, it was square on the boat deck. Now it's tan like normal decks. But this is like the new thing. It's not like the other one. I also changed the windows. And there you go. That is the Lego Titanic. These are supposed to represent the propellers. Next is the Titanic squishy. And you can see it squishes. And I actually have to put like a space here to 1 and all the rigging in 2. I also removed the flags off of these because that would get, same thing with this. It's just like a little outline here, not the whole flag. This is like the ensign. And then there's also the rudder. It kind of turns, but there's also a little race here. Then there's also the propellers. Because of this, same thing with the paper, other paper Titanic. Seems like they're 8 funnels, but when you normally look at it, you would normally look at either port or starboard. You can't see the balance room because it'll look weird. And if you want to see that video, there's a card on the right hand side. So there you go. There is the Titanic squishy. Next is the Titanic paper model. And you can see it's kind of old right now because I made it over a year ago. But see, this is the stern view and the bow view. And like the other one, it apparently has 8 funnels when you look at the top, but you only look at it when you look at either port or starboard. Also, you can see there's like water and stuff over here, so don't worry about that. Also, the bottom is here. You can see it didn't color this black. I would have used just the bottom part of this, but I didn't do that. This all the time. It has a movable water. I'm trying to think of making a more better paper Titanic, but I don't know about that. So here is the other paper Titanic. No, not to be confused with that other one. That one is different. This is like printed. So there you go. There is the paper Titanic. Next is the Titanic Collection. I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but it's just like a cool Titanic with wheels. It also has rigging. This one's broken, but I tried to add I almost said funnel rigging, but it's actually called the funnel shrouds. The funnel shrouds are those things. It's kind of like funnel rigging, almost. But there you go, there's the Titanic Collection. Next is the Titanic 3D puzzle. And if you want to see that video, there's also a card on the right hand side. There's so many cards in this video. I don't know if it shows all the cards, but you can see this is a cool little Titanic. I also had a mask. You can see it in my subscriber specials. But you see there is the I also don't know why it doesn't stick to the base, but there is the other Titanic. Next is the main Titanic, and I also showed you that in the main Titanic video, which there's also a card on the right hand side. I don't know about all these cards. Some of them may be in the description, but and not in the card area. But it's also in the same thing. And the Titanic snow globe, it's in that same thing. You can see I modified it a little. And it's like the same version as with both these together. And I'm trying to think of adding lights. I don't know if I'm going to add lights to the model, but it's just a cool little cartoon model. Next is the Brooklyn Titanic, and I also told you that this is before the official Lego Titanic, which is like this one. This is also before my YouTube channel. But this is like Christmas of 2020. It has one less piece than the other. It's like it's a Sandfly rocket, mini blowing block Sandfly rocket. I don't know what that is right now, but it has one less piece. But there is a Brooklyn Titanic. It's also apparently the most popular video besides the Titanic the puzzle that isn't a final collapse. So if you want to see that, there's also a card, or it's in the description. I have to remove the screen back. I have to move the screen back for this. Also, don't care if the mask kind of goes like this. It's not stuck. It's not stuck on, but it's mostly held by the rigging and the macaroni thing. You can see it's in my adding rigging. Where I add this rigging. Those are going to be in the description. Or in the cards, which are here. Same thing with the Titanic with LED. It's also an attempt to recreate my first video. That's also in the description. Or the card. There's so many cards. I just created my own iceberg. But there you go. Let's show you with the lights. You can see it kind of flickers almost because this is older. That's a little less than a year old. This is my first Titanic model kit. There you go. There's a 1/700 scale Titanic. Next are actually two things: the large Titanic funnel and the small Titanic funnel, because they're basically just Titanic funnels. I'll show you the small one first because this is more interesting. You've already seen this one previously, but this is a smaller version. I don't know why, but I just like to make a smaller version of this. So there's no other video except now. But this one is in TFP. That's the North Canada video, which is in the description. It's also in the large Titanic funnel video, which can be found in the description. Or in the card. I meant card. Or in the description. There's so many cards for these Titanic videos. I think Miami actually just did the Titanic topic, which shows all these Titanic things. So if you don't see all these cards, then it would most likely be either in the description, or if you just want to see all of them, you can just look at the Titanic topic, which is in my homepage, so I'm not showing it anywhere. But you can see it's a cool little Titanic funnel. Here is the Titanic puzzle, and you can see the artist change here from the other one. I just crossed out Titanic TFP when I changed my channel name to NiagaraTFP, so I just crossed out Titanic TFP and put NiagaraTFP. So it kind of looks funny, but it's like it's my older profile picture. My older profile picture was also Titanic like this. My new one also has this, but it's a lot smaller, and it's in a Niagara Falls thing. Also, it's really hard to move this. That's why some parts are like disconnected. It's also missing the crow's nest for some reason. The crow's nest is like, it's like a little observation point. I'm trying to actually tell the iceberg. I don't know what the name is, but it's so there is the Titanic puzzle, and you can see it has 48 pieces. Next is this really cool paper Titanic thing. It's just a flat thing held on by paper clips, and this little iceberg. So the Titanic itself. This is also the thumbnail of the Titanic domino chain reaction, which I'll put in the description. So if you were earlier in the video, if I say cards, there might not actually be cards because I may have reached a card limit, but here's really cool Titanic. So that's it for now. So we've done all of this. I don't know why the Titanic squishy always falls over, but we have to stay like that. But we've reached all of these. So if you see any cards for these other ones, there may not actually be cards. Or there's like a little message thing if for one of these that I just reached the limit. But right now, we're going to go to these guys. The Titanic fan, the Titanic machine, and the large Titanic 3 puzzle. Next, here's the Titanic fan. So this is a really cool thing. It has Titanic on it, and it has really cool detail here. It's just a black and white picture of the Titanic though. What's on like Titanic, and it has this thing here because Titanic has a lot of luxurious things in it, like twist sounds. I'm not like into the insides. I'm more like into the outside, like the hull and stuff. So I don't know about that. It's mostly the grand staircase, but there's like a lot of luxurious things in the Titanic. So I just thought it's really cool they put it here. And these kind of look like windows, but they're not, I think. But there is the Titanic fan. Next, here is the paper mache Titanic, and I'm not going to show you it from all angles. I'm going to show you the video of it in the description below. But here is the mache Titanic. Last but definitely not least is this really cool Titanic 3 puzzle, which I got back in September 19, 2020. So here is a really cool Titanic, and you can obviously see I need to move from here to show you all the details. You can see it added the clothes next to the front. I think you've seen that in the little Titanic video. I was a mini Titanic, but it can be anything. So here are the funnels, and then here is, so you can see I need a penguin off to the side. But you see it says RMS Titanic at the bottom, and it can also light up. But it's hard to see here with all this lighting. There you go, that's where the light switch is. So there is the Titanic, and there you go. That is a Titanic 3 puzzle. Let's see if I can find the switch. And there you go. Those are all of my cool Titanic models. And you can see it's here. Let's see if you can see that Titanic thing back there. Plus these models. So those are all of my stuff. Thanks for watching, and so bye.